Hi, everyone. Thanks so much to the guests being here. We're going to tell you about them in a moment, but welcome to Student Doc 101. I'm Michael Stinnett, a medical education learning specialist with NYITCOM at Arkansas State University. And today we're in this show because we want to take you inside medical school and we want to show you what it looks like to be successful. Is success possible? And today you're going to tell us that how to be on that path and prove that becoming a physician, though it's long, it's hard, it's possible if you have some strategy. You can still flourish, you can still be a human and make it on the other side healthy. So we're really excited to have you all with us today. So let's jump into some introductions. These are 3 second-year medical students at NYITCOM at Arkansas State University. And so today I have student Dr. Andrew Goode, student Dr. Karley Bloesch, and student Dr. Zariyae Moore. So we're so thrilled to get to have you on the show. What an honor to get to work with you and to see all the work that you're doing to impact healthcare outcomes in the Delta region and beyond. It really matters to me. This is my home area. And so super excited about all of that. So let's share your perspectives. But first, tell us, who are you and what brought you to med school?
I can start us off. Like Mr. Stinnett said, my name's Karley, and I'm from the Delta region as well, so it made it really awesome when they opened this school in the Delta region. What brought me to med school and just medicine in general, I have a brother. He's a quadriplegic. He's ventilator dependent. It happened when I was 11 years old. And so just being from the Delta, seeing how like him going to doctor's appointments, how much of a struggle it was just to get us like quality care for him. Just seeing that, it really inspired me to go into healthcare. And then once I saw the impact that compassionate doctors had on him and my family, like me personally, even though I wasn't the patient, I just knew that I wanted to try to be that for somebody else.
No, it's fantastic. Hard story, but such a good one. Yeah.
So my name is Zariyae Moore, but I go by Star. I'm from a rural small town in Mississippi called Forest, Mississippi. And why I want to go into osteopathic medicine specifically is because I'm from a rural town, real close-knit. You go to school with the people who've been there for 50 years. In osteopathic medicine, it allowed me to have an additional layer of training to where, I could go back and pour into a community that has made me into the woman that I am today. So if I could teach my mom or teach a 6-year-old how to use this technique to treat a headache or a sinus ache, and you don't have to drive 45 minutes to the local specialist, that's a huge, it's a bigger fulfillment to me at the end of the day. So yeah, that's why I chose medicine.
Yeah, no, that's great. Being able to do that in your home is such a big deal, especially when the clinic's so far away. I mean, gas is not cheap.
Oh,
and so then you got to take off work just to go get a headache fixed.
Right.
Learning that kind of stuff is great. So what about you?
So my name's Andrew Goode. I'm from a small town in West Tennessee. I came to Arkansas State 4 or 5 years, or I guess it's 6 years ago now, did my undergrad here. But one of the reasons I chose medicine was I was always a person who always liked to challenge and always loved to learn. And one of the things I loved to learn about in high school and college was just medicine and the human body in general. And another thing was growing up, no one in my family went to college. Everyone had those blue collar jobs. And my dad always told me, he was like, go do something where you don't have to work your body to death like I've had to do for me. So medicine was one of those things that I was like, well, that's a way that I can go do that, but also kind of give back to my family, educate them. Because whenever you do live in a small rural town, a lot of people fear medicine. A lot of people are scared of it. And they just don't know a lot about it. And they don't know how to take care of themselves because they're more worried about taking care of everyone else around them. So they kind of put their health on the back burner there. So for me, being able to do that, be able to teach my family some things, be that person in my family to kind of educate them and maybe hopefully go back to my town and help them. That's kind of one of the reasons why I chose medicine.
Yeah, I love that. You're all wanting to make impact. So that's pretty cool because, I think a lot of people talk about impact, but don't necessarily do impact. And so I really love that passion. Is there anything in particular about osteopathic medicine? I know, Star, you mentioned something about the osteopathic tenets there. If you want to add to that, go ahead. But why osteopathic medicine as opposed to allopathic medicine?
So one of the things that I love about osteopathic medicine is the holistic approach for it. Just a little personal side note, I'm really into personal health, nutrition. I love to go to the gym. I love to work out. I'm into bodybuilding and stuff. But if you ask any one of my friends, are always like, oh, he's on a diet. Like he's dieting here, he's dieting there. And that's one of the things that I like about osteopathic medicine that aligns with me is like, how well can I treat my body and how can it prevent, the things that might be able to come? Because, there's some things that you can't avoid. There's some things that are going to happen to you, but the better you can live your life and the better you can treat your body, the better outcome for health you're giving yourself just right off the rip. So that's one thing about osteopathic medicine is it's how can we approach these things? How can we prevent these things early on? So we aren't to the point where we're having to give these medicines, having to do these surgeries. So that's one of the ways that osteopathic medicine kind of aligned with, my own personal values. And that's one reason why I was very interested in it.
Dude, I love that. I feel like if we were trying to make this into like what I used to call tweetable statements when Twitter was a thing, but now is it like an Xable statement? Is that what you would say? It's like almost like if you treat your body well early, it will treat you well later.
Right.
Yep.
And there's man, feel free. Somebody make a shirt out of that. And it'll be great. So thanks. Anybody else? Like why osteopathic medicine?
I'll continue on. I think what I love about osteopathic medicine that it allows the patient to be the most informed, the most empowered about their own decisions. They, instead of them coming into the clinic being scared, like, oh, I'm about to get these shots, I'm about to get these surgeries, I'm about to get all of this work done for me. No, I'm about to teach you this stretch. And I can do that at home in my living room in the comfortability around my family. And so it makes them more empowered. It makes them more trusting in me. I just love that aspect of it. And like Andrew said, the holistic approach, I'm not just trying to treat your shoulder. I'm trying to treat, what are your social determinants of health? Like how's home? I can't just say go exercise and you don't have a sidewalk at home. So I'm looking at you, not just what you present to me in clinic, but beyond the clinic. So I love that part.
Don't have a sidewalk at home. Well, we don't even think about all of the things that actually impact health. Like we don't think about the food choices that we make. We don't think about what is our environment like? What are the people around us like? Stuff like that. Would you add anything?
No, I think they really covered it. I agree. I guess this is kind of a Dr. Laurent shout out, one of our professors, but on that, she always says like how important it's more important where you work, eat, sleep, and pray. Something along those lines, and talking about how it really is. Healthcare is such a small part of it, and it's so important how you're treating your body day in and day out. And I think osteopathic medicine really like highlights that aspect of it.
Yeah.
She does say like it's 10% medicine, 90% other elements.
It's all about life, right? Like, and that's something that's really hard. So anyway, but he talked about like 1 in 7 patients will take their doctor's advice. Like 1 in 7. So like what a horrible stat. But the reality is like, but if we can make it simpler for people to do the thing, then maybe more people will follow through and will have healthier lives, which is great. Although that's not great for job security. I'm just saying, if everybody gets healthy, right?
Then we've done our job.
We've done our job, right? We'll figure that out later.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
It's going to be a while. Yeah. I don't know if you've looked around, but we're not a healthy group, so it's okay. So now let's move into the mission of NYITCOM, because this is really, it resonates with me. This is my area. NYITCOM at Arkansas State University exists primarily to put doctors in the Delta. It's what we're trying to do. We're trying to impact healthcare outcomes where people need them the most. And so is there something like, what does that mission mean to you? Does it mean anything to you?
I think we can build off of kind of what we were just talking about. You said 1 in 7 patients follow their doctors, things that they say. A lot of it comes down to like, is the doctor being reasonable? Are they actually educating their patient? Are they setting realistic goals? I feel like one thing that NYITCOM at Arkansas does well is it teaches you and shows you the kinds of things that patients are going through. In our population health, we see the kinds of environments, we see the kinds of places that people have to make their food choices. They might only have a Dollar General Market, and that's where they're making their healthy food choices. And if you've ever been to one, there's not many healthy food choices, So one thing that this school does well is it kind of embraces and shows you what patients are going through, what patients are actually, having to deal with on a daily basis. And it also gives you the perspective that they're actually people too. They're not just a patient. They're not just a number. You know, they're people, and they're just like any one of us. So it helps you kind of understand and set realistic expectations whenever it does come to patient care.
Yeah.
You know, say, oh, eat healthier. They're like, how am I supposed to eat healthier? I don't even have a place near me. I don't have transportation to get anywhere. There's no public transportation. So
Right.
it really sheds light on some of the problems that are in the Delta and in other places. And it kind of shows the unique problems that we do have in the Delta.
Right. And if you don't pay attention to those and don't like respect people, then you might not ever get to that.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to blame people and then never get to what's causing the thing.
Yeah.
And then some people like healthy food is more expensive than the cheap food, like the bad for you food. And then some folks, like if you got a DG market and that's your place, you're like, so you mean healthy food? So I should get like the baked Lays over the Doritos?
Yeah.
Like that's my version of healthy food, right? So yeah, I love that. Is anything else like the mission of the school?
I think to Andrew's point, like the school does a really good job of training physicians, because we're all from small communities, but we have classmates that are from California, Chicago, Texas, those larger areas. But we're trained starting day one of like how to get out in the community and touch patients before we ever get our white coat. So they're training us to be able to see that need, recognize the need, and then act upon it. So it's that service. Like you're not the hospital that you work in. Like we have a Delta Caravan. We're going out, driving an RV van, first year medical students learning those skills. So learning how to take a manual blood pressure, learning how to do glucose readings and things like that. And going to those communities and doing that outreach and gaining that health literacy. Because like you said, like the Lays to regular Doritos example, it boils down to health literacy. People don't necessarily, it's not that they don't want to do better. They just might not understand, and no one's ever taken the time to, oh, this is what this means. But our school does such a good job of breaking this down, of like recognizing that patient and relating to them. And like, we're not up here and they're down here. We're like, I actually work for you. So I'm here to be of service to you. And, you know, I think our school does a really good job at that.
Oh, that's super great.
I agree. I think they do a really good job too of teaching us like how important it is in these small communities, like trust at the bottom line. Like you can be the best doctor, but if you don't find a way to make these communities feel like you're a part of their community, you're there to help them, it's not going to matter if they don't trust you. And so it's so much more than just being a doctor. It's going to the local ballpark or just getting involved in the community before you're just trying to be like, yeah, you should eat healthy or go to the gym.
Yeah. Because realistically, most people know those things.
Right.
So it's like they need people to care about them. And if they feel like you care about them, they may be more open to listen to you, right? There's something there. All right, so we're going to dig into the meat of the podcast. If you've stuck with us this long, thank you so much. All right, everybody, let's move into this question. What do you wish someone would have told you before you started medical school?
I think for me, the biggest thing is the endurance factor of it, and the fact that you're never going to feel ahead. You're never going to feel like you have everything done. Just one thing with medical school, it's so much all the time. You feel like you have no days off. And kind of going into that, you have to really learn how to treat your body well, because if you're a hard worker, you will work yourself into the ground. You'll work 7 days a week. You won't take a break, but you'll kind of come to find out that it's sometimes those breaks that you need to refresh yourself to go back and work a little harder. I know that for me, my problem is I don't want to take a break, but I try to find things that I can do in my free time, or kind of things to look forward to give myself a break. So whenever I am not studying, I actually feel refreshed whenever I do come back. I know that for me, a lot of the hardest part is just, it's the same thing every week. You know, you have your schedule, you have the things that you're successful with. It's just, you have to do those things every day, every week, week after week, until you're done with it. And that's one of the hardest parts right now. We're in year 2 of medical school, and if you ask every one of us, we have the same schedule that we go by every week, I bet, to be successful. That's just what's worked for us. And it's just the monotony of it is the hardest
monotony.
part.
That's the word.
It's
monotony.
The hardest part. You know, it's just the same thing every day. And if you're a person who can do that and thrives with, you know, consistency, then it'll work for you. But if you're a person who loves to do different things, enjoys going out and do other things, there's just a lot of sacrifices that has to be made for it.
Yeah, I think the monotony part is really good. Like, would you say, well, and I want to hear your answers, but would you say like there's an element of boring that you just need to be okay with?
Yes.
Yeah. 100%.
You got to learn to be okay.
Stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a small sacrifice for a bigger return in a million. So
like we don't know how to be bored in society, especially, listen, y'all are younger than me. Okay. I'm like probably double your age, and we just don't know how to be bored in society anymore. Like you'll have some 12-year-old roll up with like, they got like a Switch and a tablet and a phone, like riding on a hoverboard. Like, I'm bored. You're like, what? How are you bored? Like you have everything.
Right.
And like, so in med school, talking about that monotony, your schedule, like, you know what you're doing when you wake up, if you have a good schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there's an element there of like, maybe if somebody would have said, hey, be bored and just
Yeah.
be okay.
Yeah.
Learn to put your phone down.
Absolutely.
Like put it in another room.
Yeah.
Leave it there.
Pause box.
Yeah.
Tap. Yeah, that's good. All right, what else? What do you wish somebody would have told you?
that everyone's track is going to look different. I don't know if everyone knows this, but I was a teen mom. Well, I am a teen mom. I'm not a teen anymore.
Get it?
But
Teen mom kid right here. So what's up?
That's me. But I did get pregnant my freshman year of college, and I remember I was a biochem major. Now I have my degree in biochem, but my advisor was like, this is the hard field you're trying to go, so you might as well stop while you're ahead. And I remember sitting in my dorm just kind of like overwhelmed, just overzealous, like, I have this passion to be a doctor, but I don't come from the richest family. Education in my hometown is not the, forefront,
What
a
you're
lot of
known
people,
for, right?
So it's like, man, like, what do I do? And if somebody would have told me, like, everybody's track isn't different. You might have to go do a master's. You might have to, continue on with school and go in. You got to just be ready to take those risks to, get that payout. And I'm here as a second year medical student. I'm thriving in school. Like, I enjoy school, and I'm able to, like, I thought I was going to miss out on those things. And, I have, classmates that are, they came right in at 18, 17. I did my master's, so I came in at 21. Everybody's path looks different. You come from different backgrounds, but at the end of the day, we all have the same passion. We all have the same purpose. We have our various reasons of why, but at the end of the day, we all want to be doctors to make that impact that we were talking about. So don't try to get boggled down like, I don't come from this background. I don't have this degree. I don't have this status. I have these different obstacles that I'm facing. Like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah. So what I hear there is like don't define your progress by somebody else's.
Yes.
Right? Your journey isn't their journey. The destinations can be the same, but the path to that, everybody's going to have a different one. No, that's great. So, and congrats.
Thanks.
Like making it this far. Girl, stop. That's crazy.
Thank you.
I love it. All right, Karley, what we got?
I guess I would say, kind of going off how everybody is different once you're in medical school. And this is something I feel like I was told and I didn't listen as well as I should have. But when you first start medical school, you're going to start receiving a lot of advice on how you should be studying and what works. And I think I wish I would have known, what I'd done up until that point had obviously worked for me a little bit. So instead of trying to completely throw out the way I was studying and doing things and like trying 10 different people's study methods, like, stick to what you know. You're going to have to make tweaks, but you don't have to try every resource. You don't have to try every piece of study advice. It's going to end up just making you get behind.
Yeah. No, that's great. So that's definitely something. And I'm not a med student, but I get to work with lots of them. I've worked with over 1,000 med students. And one of the things that I see more and more with students now than I did when I first started is the algorithm is leading them to something that is not helpful.
Yeah.
So the social media algorithm is built by marketers trying to make money.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to, I think what I would tell students is beware those trying to monetize your struggle. If they're trying to monetize your struggle, they do not have your best interest in mind. They need money from you. And that's one of the things is like, just pay attention. There are great resources out there. But one of the things like for our school in particular, like we have lots of students succeed who never buy another resource. We have some students who buy other resources and they succeed too. So it's fine. But it's like, slow down, figure out what works for you. And if you need something else, go get something else. But let's make sure you need it first. So I think that's good. And then, boy, I love that y'all went like 3 different directions with that. So that's good. I had some words written down that I was like, if they don't mention these, but it's like, I think people need to tell them it's going to take some discipline.
Right.
Right. There are going to be days where you just like don't want to do it, but you do it because when motivation wanes, discipline gets you through. Right.
Yeah.
Like I think sometimes I tell people like, I'm just trying to find motivation. I'm like, that's not motivation is not like a treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Motivation is an outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And so you do things that create motivation. Right. So boom, consistency, structure. Y'all talked about that stuff. All right. This is a way different question. I think that's one that we probably, I would say if you're listening, like tune in, like stop the phone scrolling right now, stop chewing your food and just listen. Is there anything that an incoming student or a pre-med student could do to be more successful, more ready for day one? The volume and velocity is intense, right? You mentioned that. It's a lot. Is there any way that you could be more ready for day one?
I think it's just a mindset shift. Like, there's not enough MCAT books you can read or true ninja nerd that you can learn because it's always going to be just new information that you've never learned at this depth. It's more of a mindset shift. Like, okay, I'm going to have to be disciplined. I'm going to have to make a schedule. I'm going to have to, tweak what has made me comfortable because I'm learning new material. But yeah, I think it's mindset. Like, you're not going to be able to drink from all the different resources because they will provide that for you. Like, there will be a time that you're expected to know something. You got to be okay with those growing pains and not, okay, I have to know all of this on day one. So I think that's the biggest thing because you want to appreciate the process. You'll just be ready to get to the end.
Stop, slow down, appreciate the process. Lean in, say it again, appreciate the
You
process.
have to appreciate the process.
Yeah, that's right. I feel like we should stop. Everybody say it, appreciate the process. But anyway, it's just, we appreciate the outcome.
Yeah.
And we learn the process is what makes you.
Yeah.
The outcome is what you get.
Right.
Right. What about you though? Would you say, Karley, is there something that students could do, you would say?
I completely agree with Star. I think that the two most important things you could do to help you be ready is changing your mindset, maybe figuring out some coping mechanisms to cope with stress then that work for you. Because like we've all talked about, it is going to be stressful. It's going to be hard for a little bit. And then also trying to go ahead and establish a schedule, like get used to waking up early, get used to being productive right after you get out of bed. I think those two things would set you up for success better than like trying to spend a lot of time on resources.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I like it. You didn't go like content, like go learn extra anatomy. Your thing was go figure you out.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
That's going to
find
help
out
the most.
How do you handle stress? Like what are your coping mechanisms? That's good. And then can you get a good routine to be productive quickly?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty smart. What would you say?
I would say similar thing, just schedule is a big thing. So if you're a person who, enjoyed their summer a lot and stayed up late, woke up late every day, stop it now. 2-3 weeks before school starts, like go ahead and start getting on that schedule, get your body used to it because you don't want to start day one of studying for 8 hours a day or more. And you're on 2 new schedules, right? Also during that time, kind of find some things that you think are non-negotiables. Like if you're going to go to the gym and that's one thing you want to do it. If you move far away from home and you need to talk to your mom or dad or whoever, loved one every day, pick a time out of the day and call them. It's easy right now to put that on the back burner and you haven't talked to your family in a few days. Try to go ahead and write some non-negotiables down. Like these are some things I need to keep up with even when I am in med school, because it's easy to be in med school and it's like the rest of the world doesn't exist. Like you're in here just to study. You're so locked in, there's nothing else. But, you need to also keep some of those more important things in the back of your head. Like, hey, I need to call my brother. I haven't talked to him in a while. I need to call my grandmother, my mom, my dad. So just go ahead and get ready for some of that change or go ahead and plan for some of that change. Definitely don't do any schoolwork because you're going to have 2 full years of it and more. You have plenty of schoolwork to do.
Yeah.
Honestly, give your body a rest, but also be ready for the change because
that's so.
If you ease into the change, it's just a lot easier than just jumping off a cliff and everything's new,
Yeah.
And I like the point you said of like non-negotiables because I think there is a misconception. Like medical school is hard, but it can be enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have enjoyed my 2 years here because I set non-negotiables. Like I have a daughter, so she's going to have her homework done. She needs time with her mom. She needs time to play. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to go to church. Like those are things that are not wavering on any day of the week. So when you have that, you can enjoy, you can find fulfillment, and it's not, oh, I'm just bogged down with school and it's a chore to get up every day, because it's a marathon and not a race, not a sprint.
I think the non-negotiables too, like, really play into the discipline we were talking about. Because as silly as it sounds, like when you are in med school, it is really easy to be like, well, I'm just not going to call my mom today, or I'm not going to go to the gym because I need to study. But when you get into that habit, now you've done that for a week and now you're getting burnt out. Like, it's just as important to include those things in the day-to-day as it is to study.
Yeah, that's good. And you all three mentioned gym, so I would love, anybody want to talk about just like the benefit of exercise while in med school?
Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah,
It's just-
Andrew.
It's really
Mr.
easy just
Health
to
over
sit
here, right? Like,
It's so easy to sit in your chair every day, and then I'll notice some days if I don't get a lot of energy out, my brain might be tired, but my body's not, and I'll sit in bed on my phone for a couple hours, and I'll stay up, and I'm like, well, I could be getting schoolwork done, but I really couldn't be because my brain's tired, but my body's not. So it's a good way to also give yourself a break, but also just get some of that energy out that you need. And also, we're all going to be doctors. We're all healthy people, so your body needs activity throughout the week. It's just good to get up and get your body moving. It helps get your brain moving,
Yeah.
I go to the gym. It's like my midday break is what I call it. It's one of those little hobbies is what I call it, in the middle of the day, right? So I'm like, all right, I'll work hard all morning. Then I get to go to the gym. Then when I come back, I'll have a few more hours, and then I'm done for the day. So if you like to go, then it's a little reward for you. But if you don't like to go, then it's something that once you start doing it, you'll find out like your body's getting a lot of that energy out. Like for me, I'll get so tired of sitting in the seat. So I'll go to the gym, get on the treadmill, get on the Stairmaster. And I'm like, man, I want to sit down now.
Yeah.
When I'm ready to sit down, I'm ready to work again,
Yeah, that's good. There's a Barbara Oakley, and I'm going to butcher this name, Terry Wojniewski or something like that. He's a neuroscientist, but he said that exercise is one of the number one strengtheners of cognitive performance. You want your brain to do well, your body should do well, and go to the gym. That's why it's like, I want to tell people, but I would say this, here's what I say. So when I meet with a student first time, it's like, well, what are the things that define you as a person? And if they list gym, I say, then you got to keep doing it. Because once you quit doing it, you're going to lose a little bit of that identity, and you're going to start to suffer.
Yeah.
If family time defines you as a person, you got to keep it. If you call your folks, you got to keep it. You got to keep the things that define you. Because if you don't, you won't know how to define yourself anymore.
Right.
You were going to say something though.
I was just going to say, I completely agree. Like, that's so important, not losing who you are at your core. And it's so easy to do, especially when you're first in med school. You're learning how to study and you're in this new place. And it really, when that's taking a toll on you, it really is taking a toll on your studying as well, even if you don't notice it. But if you can't, like, keep the things that are important to you. One of my non-negotiables is I go home to my parents' house once a month. I always go. When I was first in school, I went about 2-3 months without seeing them. That was making me upset, and I didn't even realize after a trip home I could study better. So I just agree. It's really important to keep the things close to you close.
I love
You'll
that.
forget your why if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You will. Know that.
Mm-hmm.
Know that. And non-negotiables. So write those down, okay? Create your non-negotiables. Write them down. Put them in front of you. Tell other people what they are so that you can have a community of people who know. And they'll help you with that. I think that's just so good. Because you mentioned, like, it's easy to make med school a bubble. And I think we have to realize, like, but outside that bubble, you're going to exist as a human.
Exactly.
Right? And so be careful. And sometimes I think we, in the med school system, those of us who aren't the students, we can forget that too. And we can pressure the students like, you don't have time to call home. You don't have time to go home. What do you mean? And it's like, no, hold on. Like, you actually don't have time not to.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. Because those are the things that are going to give you that stress relief. Because you know this better than me, but if anxiety is high, cortisol is high, learning is low.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's like, if going home or if going to the gym, if hanging out with your daughter is like a stress reliever, you better do it. I see people all the time forfeit those things for more study, and it never leads to higher performance. Never. I haven't seen it work one time, but I see people do it all the time. All right. If we don't move on, though, we won't finish.
Please.
So we're wrapping up. We're getting close. Got a couple more questions for these people. Is there a trap that students should avoid? Like an invisible trap door that they just don't know about in med school? Something we don't see, but students fall for.
I would say, Karley mentioned it, all the resources there are. Some people will scroll on TikTok and you'll see 1,000 things. Oh, I'm doing this to study for med school, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And everyone said 5 different things.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at my phone, there's not one thing related to med school on it, on any of my anything. I don't look at it. You know, it's one of those things. You almost feel like you're an imposter. You feel like you're not doing things right, even if they are successful for you, because other people are doing it and succeeding with it. So one of the easiest traps is just falling for some of those, you know, monetization things on the internet. It's just like, oh, well, they're using this resource and they're successful, and they're using this resource and they're successful. So then you go down the path of, you'll buy 5 resources, you'll buy 2, 3, 4 resources, and you'll try to use this one a little bit or this one a little bit, but you're not really doing any quality work. You're just
doing it,
you're just doing it to do it, and you're not really figuring anything out.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is, like, if a school gives you something, it's probably because it's worked. You know, they're not going to give you something that doesn't work. I didn't use a lot of resources. I didn't have to use a lot of resources. I stuck with what the school gave me, and I did just fine. So, you know, there's lots of ways. The school's going to help you be successful, you know, so just try to find one thing, stay on that path, and really don't stray from it if it's working for you.
Yeah. You mentioned something, the school is going to help you be successful. And this is not to toot our own horn, because no school is perfect, right? But, like, one, the students have paid us to be here. We're now invested in your success because your success determines whether or not more students come to us. And so it's like, I don't need you to buy this product so that I can feed my family. I need you to be successful. So I'm invested in your success because your success is the mirror that people will use to judge me.
Right.
And that, I sleep with that. Like, it matters. And so that's good. But whatever. Okay. Moving on though. Traps.
I think a trap is like learning when to say no to yourself. Like, if we're going down the resource, topic, like if Anki does not work for me. Like, I was that person that was watching First Day of Medical School, How to Prepare for Medical School, and everybody was Anki. And I tried Anki and I did not like it. And I'm like, you have to learn when to say stop. Like, no, this is not working for me. I'm glad that it worked for them, but I need to try something else. So now I have my own system, and that's successful for me. So when someone has that little Anki remote, I have no FOMO because I know that doesn't work for me.
No FOMO. Tried it. Didn't work. And I love that. So here's the thing where it was like, it paid to be a quitter. Because I know some people say, don't be a quitter. I'm like, well, every now and then, quit. If something's not working, quit. You got anything?
Don't fall into the trap of comparing yourself to your classmates in any sense. Grades, how much they've studied compared to how much you've studied. Like, it doesn't matter. It only matters what you do.
That's exactly right. That is a trap we need to avoid. All right. And I think one of the challenges is, I would make the argument that nobody chooses to fail in med school. Nobody chooses it on purpose, but we do make choices that lead to it. And I think the problem there is that we drift toward failure. And what I mean by that is, we don't even know that we're doing it until it's too late. I don't know if you've ever been in a boat before. Like, I've been in the John boats right on the ponds, the lakes where I'm out there paddling. I don't have a motor. I'm the motor. Right? And you throw the paddles in the boat for a little bit and you're just chilling, and then the wind comes along, and before long you're like, hey, look, rocks. All right, it's time to go, because you drifted over. And you don't make a conscious choice to that. But would you say, like, how can students be aware of the drift? Any thoughts on that? It wasn't on my list for you all, so.
I would say that's where study groups probably come in pretty good, in my opinion, at least. I think sometimes even now, like, I can get kind of lazy and not realize, like, I'm drifting towards failure. I haven't been doing what I'm supposed to. But then when I get with my study group and we're asking questions or discussing, that can be a time where you kind of sit back and you're like, okay, I don't know what I need to, let me get it together.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. Like I was just about to say that, like our school does such a good job of like trying to promote, like you cannot do this path by yourself. Like you need to lean on others, because I could be studying something that I actually have no idea what I'm talking about. But when I get with Karley or Andrew, like they can they solidify that information for me, and it can close those gaps and fill those gaps before I hit failure.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Anything to add, or I'll just move on? What do you got?
I think it's good.
All right. I like it. So we got 2 things left. We've got 5 minutes left, so we're crushing it. 1 sentence takeaway. If you had 1 sentence, and this is what people were going to hear from you, what's that 1 sentence that you would like to leave the listeners with?
I would say med school is really draining, and you really have to love yourself. It's really easy to give things and give too much of yourself to others whenever you don't have it, whenever you aren't pouring it back into yourself.
I love that. Love yourself. Be kind to yourself. Right? That kind of builds on that. All right. So we're wrapping up. The final thing that we're going to do for our listeners, because everybody really wants to know, this is what they've been waiting the whole time for, is what is your binge? Like, do you have a TV binge or a doom scroll binge or podcast, books? What's your binge?
I'm a true crime girly. I'm a YouTube true crime. I love Kendall Ray, Bailey Sarian. Yeah, that's what I do in my study time.
So shout out to them. I'm sure like if they're following along,
Yeah,
right?
they can shout me out in
If you need a
video or
guest,
something.
right here, we got Zariyae Moore right there. She's ready to be on your show. Not one of the victims.
Yeah, no.
No.
I binge Suits a lot. Like
Ooh.
that's like my comfort
Who's your
show.
character? Like, are you a Mike Ross kind of person? Are you a Harvey? Are you one of the ladies? Who you got?
I gotta go with Donna.
Yeah, of course. Who
She's
doesn't
the
go with
best.
Donna? What? The person who gets everything done. All right. Not that I've seen it. You got a binge?
I do investments.
All right.
I do investments in my spare time.
Yeah, like are we cryptoing or are we day trading? What are we doing?
Pokemon investments.
All right. I like
I'll
it.
out myself.
That's okay. That's okay. I hope it works out for you.
That's where my med school money goes.
I like it. Hey, plan for the long term, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's Student Doc 101. Thanks for making it with us today. You've just heard from Student Dr. Zariyae Moore. This is a struggle for me, but I'm trying, okay? Student Dr. Karley Bloesch and Student Dr. Andrew Goode. We're so excited to have you. First, I'm just excited to get to be around y'all. You're phenomenal people, and you're making a difference, and you don't even know how big a difference you're making because you're investing not only in yourselves, but you're investing in other medical students. And so all of their patients will also be owing something to you. So your downline is more than you'll ever know. And so thank you for that. You've also given me great wisdom, great insight on how to help other students and what I do. And so thanks for being on the show today. Student Doc 101. So good to have you.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
having us.